Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Hi, and welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. This show is designed to give you actionable and practical help and advice which will improve your management skills and get you the best results. Make sure, if you haven't already, to take the time to subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode, and share it with anyone who you might think will enjoy the show. Right, well, this week is a Friday Thought, so let's get on with this week's show. We as leaders are in a privileged position. You might not think it some days, but you are. You have the autonomy of your day. Now, what does that mean, you're asking? Well, you have many choices. More than others, you think. You will have a list of things to do, if you have a to-do list, which I'm sure you will have. And unless you're micromanaged, nobody tells you directly what to do. For example, you don't get told, right, 9 a.m, spend 30 minutes on a budget for the next quarter. Then, at 9:30, spend an hour on an engagement presentation. Then, 10:30, ring the sales team for an update. No, you have jobs to do, and in most part, you have to make a choice of what's important and urgent, and hopefully you get it right. You make the call, what needs to get attention, energy, and commitment, and then you do it. Think of another example of, say, the timings of your day. You have some vague start and finish time in your head, and you have a lunch and maybe a coffee break if you're lucky, but you have the autonomy most of the time, and you make the calls to make sure you get the things done at the right times. Now we know, when the stuff hits the fan, then you have to get on with it. You move things around, you get involved. That comes with a rule. What you also need to do, and this is a big thing for my Friday Thought, is to make the calls. Make the decisions by using the data you have to make the calls on things you need to get done. This does not mean going off like Maverick. Your mouth is writing checks, your body can't cash. I do hope that is a Top Gun reference. No, it's about taking the data and all the information you have and your knowledge that you've built over the years and make the decision for the team and for the business. And that's the right decisions. Sometimes that means some sort of command and control. It has to be used. You can't wait for a committee meeting and a big vote when you're under the cosh. It's about taking every angle you can, looking at the best possible outcome and making the call to action. When you look at any leader, they will admit that they never have all the information they would like. It's not possible. And as Marcus Aurelius said, everything you hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective and not the truth. The irritation is that some managers miss this. They get paralysed, incapable of making the hard calls. They want more data, more future predictions, more information that is just not there at the time. And as a leader, you need to sometimes make the quicker decisions. And by saying all that, sometimes you make the call, but it goes wrong. You make the wrong call. You take everything into account, but still you make the wrong call. It's like a poker player in the card game who has 3 aces. You would bet an all-in, but there is a chance you could get beaten. Someone might have the better hand. But you made that call to the best of the knowledge with the information you had at the time. Now, isn't that better than folding, even with such a good hand, just in case somebody has a better hand? That's as far as my card examples will go and my knowledge of the card game goes, so you're going to be safe from now on. Unfortunately, as you will all know, there's always going to be one person, the, as I like to call him, hindsight manager, who will step in when you get the call wrong. Ooh, you didn't want to do it like that. No, well, I would have done that. And always after the fact and after more opinion and new information has always turned up. I tell all my leaders, at every level, better to make the calculated call than not to make any call. 100% of leaders who don't make any calculated calls are 100% right 100% of all the time. When I used to work on shifts, there would be times when you were the only person on site and you had to make the calls. If you deferred it, everything you wanted, and deferred it till 9 o'clock in the morning when the next shift came in or your manager, you'd have missed the chance, you'd have missed the service, you'd have missed the opportunity. Did I get it right all the time? No, of course not. But one thing I got from my manager was the backing to see that calculated call was better than no call. If you don't get it wrong, you will never learn. We need to coach our teams into living in a safe space to make good calls and then back them. If it goes wrong, you take account and you learn together on what you could have done differently. Making small, controlled, calculated errors will help when the big calls come around. No leader should and can delegate their accountability. And not any good leaders should fear a calculated call. Well, that's my Friday thought on making the call. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, so you can always send me an email at managermattpodcast@gmail.com. I read all my own emails and would love to engage on new and old topics. Well, that's it for my Friday thought. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.